man, I have no idea which hard drive my pictures and my videos are all saved on. I'm not sure if it's this hard drive or I don't even know. Where's the other one that I have? It's laying around here somewhere. There it is. There's one right here. Man, come on now. There's got to be an easier way to do this than just having hard drives, external hard drives laying all over the place, right? Well, yeah, there is. This is a video that I want to show you a little bit about TerraMaster and what they're offering. Now, in full disclosure, TerraMaster did provide me with a promotional discount on this. However, it's something that I reach out to them on and said, hey, I'm looking at buying one of these anyway. Would you like to help me out a little bit, make sure that I get the one that I want, and in exchange I'll do a review, good, bad, or otherwise, and they were all about it. So these opinions are all mine. They are not reviewing this in any way beforehand, nor do I care if they like this video or not. This 110% is something that I wanted to make sure I got out there, that is a product that I use and why I think it's an amazing product, especially for the price, and why you should consider getting one too. So let's dive right in and take a look and see why I love this TerraMaster box that I have. TerraMaster is a company that actually produces different types of data storage systems. So it's normally just the enclosure, which is similar to what an external hard drive looks like, except they're going to hold multiple hard drives in one place. And this gives you so much convenience compared to just having multiple hard drives laying around, even if it's a network attached storage. So we're going to go over what the difference is between what I have and what other options they have out there. So first and foremost, again, this is the box that my device came in, and I'm going to show you exactly what I bought. But they offer two different types of systems, okay? The first one is called a DAS, D-A-S, okay? It stands for Direct Attached Storage, okay? Direct Attached Storage is just using a USB cord, just like I have laying around here, okay? USB cord, and it attaches directly to one particular computer or one type of device, okay? Then there's a NAS, A-N-A-S, Network Attached Storage. This is basically a type of mini computer that has hard drives built into it that you can control in different ways. So some of the big names there would be like Synology, QNAP. There's TerraMaster makes one. There's a few different companies out there that make them. And basically the same thing there is that you just put in hard drives into these things. You hook them up to your internet at home, and that way you can connect to these devices from basically anywhere, whether it be at home or away from home also, if you so choose to make those options. Some people like the NAS option because it's a enclosed system, and people can basically, it's maintenance free, so you basically set it and forget it. However, some people don't like them just because there is the potential that there could be someone that could hack into your system, because you're basically at the whim of a cloud-based service most of the time. So for an example, QNAP and Synology did have some issues recently with some hackers getting into the cloud. There has been an argument of how that happened. Some have even said it's basically a Windows issue. I'm not going to get into the middle of all that. A NAS is a great option. Hopefully I'll get one at some point. Just because it's nice to have one where it's enclosed, it's maintenance free, you set it and forget it again, and don't have to worry about it. There's nothing really to set up once it's done. Again, what I purchased was a DAS, again, a direct attached storage. The reason why is I have a computer that runs 24/7, 365 anyhow, so I don't need another little computer running again, the network attached storage. I don't need that running using a little extra power. I decided to have a computer running all the time. Sorry, I got distracted there for a second. One of my hard drives went crazy, and that's exactly what this video is all about. is it's about setting up a system where you can have multiple hard drives all in one system and not have to worry about which hard drive did I store my pictures on or my video on. I cannot tell you how many photographers and videographers I speak with that have, multiple hard drive, external hard drives just laying around their office. I know one particular person has about 14, literally 14 of these laying around because all their pictures and things that they have stored on them. So, and you see me kind of moving this around, and because it's an empty shell. All right, same thing with this one, okay? Empty shell. The reason why these drives were removed from their enclosures, which is a term called shucking, okay? It's basically the hard drives were in here, they were removed. It's like shucking a shell, clams or oysters or whatnot. Basically, it allows you to take the hard drives out. Sometimes you can get external hard drives for cheaper than internal hard drives, which is just like a hard drive you would normally put into your computer. You can take that part out and put it into one of these devices. And again, you can have a number of different ones, different models. So for me personally, I'm going to show you right now all in live time without really editing anything. Okay, this is what your hard drive goes into. Okay, pop your hard drive into this and put this right into the device, lock it in place, and now you have this drive accessible to your computer and to any device that you so choose to give it permission to access. And again, this is just a tray. Again, pop the hard drive in here, slide it in, lock it in place, and now your computer will recognize it and you'll be able to access it and do whatever you want. And I'm going to be showing you what my device looks like. It's actually right here next to me. I have it sitting on top of my desk. Again, you should be seeing that right now. You'll be able to see that I have 4 drives in there. Actually, right now, at the time of this video, more likely than not, there'll probably just be 3 in there with this one tray that I have in my hand. We'll see that light as being off because there's no hard drive in there right now. I'm actually in the middle of putting bigger hard drives in it just because I ran out of space. I've had this device, it's called the D4-300, since November of this year. I got hard drives for my birthday that I didn't have any space in my normal desktop computer, and I needed this device to store my pictures of all my kids and video and my drone that I fly. And I just was running out of hard drive space, and I was losing track of which hard drive has what video and what pictures on. And with the fact that I don't want to just throw away hard drives, it makes more sense for me to get a unit like this and use all my old hard drives from old computers and pop them all in there and store my videos and pictures in there. So again, this device, absolutely love it. It uses USB 3.1. So what that means is it can go over 400 megabytes per second in downloading and transferring files. That means I can transfer files, basically I think it was a 1 gigabyte file in just a few seconds. And the device itself does say that it does not support RAID. What that means and what RAID allows you to do, and I know I'm kind of getting a little technical here, but RAID allows you to have disks or hard drives work together in certain ways. So for an example, I use my hard drives in RAID 5. What RAID 5 means is that I will have at least 3 disks, I have 4 in this case, that all work together. When I look at my hard drive space, it looks like one big drive, so it's drive D, but I have 4 drives that work together to give me that big drive. And what it lets me do is that all 4 drives are being used, but not used entirely. There's something called redundancy. So if I have 4 drives, if one drive were to fail for some reason, whether it be number 1, number 2, number 3, or number 4, as long as it's only one of them fail, I can put another hard drive back in and it'll rebuild the 4 and I won't lose any data. Versus if you ever have lost a hard drive, whether it be a virus well, virus is iffy, but if there was some type of mainly a drive malfunction where something were to go wrong, that you lose all your data, whether it be all your pictures, your music, your operating system, whatever it may be. You lose everything if that one drive fails. Well, I have 4 drives. As long as only one fails and I replace it, I won't lose my data at all. Now, if I lose 2 drives for some reason or there's a lightning strike, then yeah, it's all gone. But this at least protects me and allows me to have all my information shared across 4 drives and have, if one drive fails, then I'm fine. So now the thing is that you can use drives out of a hard drive enclosure. You can use drives that I purchased. They're called NAS drives, network attached storage drives. They're basically hard drives that are a little bit more expensive. They're built to run 24/7, 365. They're basically built a little bit better, and they're built to run for years. So it's unlikely that those drives will go bad. And if they do go bad, they're not likely to go bad all at the same time. They're basically built I bought mine over a period of time, so they're from different batches. So if they were to fail, they should fail one after the other, not all at the same time, if that makes any sense. And that's because of age, right? Some are a little bit older, some of them are a little bit newer, and you can also rotate drives out. That kind of gets crazy, but what some people will also do is buy one of these enclosures to just put your hard drives in externally, that are external hard drives. You just want to put them all into one place. You can keep them separate if you wanted, and that way you can keep the same information that's already on them and access each one individually as if you were just plugging it in. Now this was nice because it won't have a bunch of power bricks. I was running out of outlets for all the different hard drives that I had that were plugged in and different USB ports. It's just easier to have them all in one big unit, one power unit. This thing's great. It's whisper quiet. There's 2 fans on the back that keep everything cool. It automatically turns off to save power and will power down the hard drives for me as well per the Windows settings that I have enabled. And it just has been phenomenal. It's very fast. Again, it's not too bad on power at all. And again, it's very quiet. I absolutely love having it on my desk. I can see the little activity light tells me what's going on and if they're off or on. I've checked the power consumption, and again, it's very low. It's very minimal. It's barely anything more than the hard drives power themselves. That was the hard drive again. Sorry. So I have a hard drive that has actually failed. Every once in a while in this video, you might have heard a buzzing that I'm going to try not to edit out. If you hear it, you hear it. But I actually have a hard drive that's sitting down here on the ground that I'm trying to see if I can repair it. But I've lost everything on this video or on this hard drive that I have. Luckily, nothing was sensitive at all. It was actually used for gaming, so I could just download those games again. Not a big deal. That's beauty of the cloud. But it's sitting here trying to repair itself and see if I can use it again, and if not, then oh well. But that's the beauty of having a RAID. If it was something that was important, like the pictures of my kids or something like that, that's something that's obviously important that I don't want to lose. That's what this is all about. Now, TerraMaster offers different products. Okay, they offer a 2-bay system, which basically means you can have 2 hard drives in there. They offer the one that I have, which is the D4-300. It offers basically 4 hard drives working in there. They have another unit that actually has 5 drives that you can have in there. Now that's the D5-300. Now the D5-300 comes in 2 different options. There's one that offers a RAID option with 3 drives being independent, or you can have all 5 drives be independent. Now that option basically means that the first drive and second drive, you would be able to allow them to mirror each other so that if one drive fails, you have an exact copy of the other one. We also allow you to have it look like one big drive too, I believe. So just make sure you check that as that's something that you want. Now the only problem is if you have it in that option, I believe that's considered RAID 0. What that means is that if one drive fails, so two drives, let's say they're two 8 terabyte drives, that means it'll look like one big 16 terabyte drive. If one fails though, you lose everything. But it is the fastest read speed. The other options that I do have is they also have another device that also has the RAID option for all the drives, which means basically instead of depending on your computer processing, the CPU being able to process and make all of those 5 drives work together, they have a hardware RAID, which means instead of your computer working through all that, it gives it all to the device, and the device figures out which drive should get that data and how to separate it and ensure that there's some type of redundancy there. Now that device, oddly enough, I think is actually a little bit less than the one that only has 2. But in any case, when you use that device, it's a great option if that's what you need to do, especially if your CPU doesn't use it, doesn't have the processing power to do it. Definitely take a look at that. I personally decided not to get that one. I didn't feel like I needed that. And some people would say they don't like hardware RAID because if the hardware ever goes bad, it's very difficult to rebuild your hard drives again, and essentially losing all your data if that box goes bad, because you need that exact box or box just like it in order to make the hard drives work again. Now, whether or not that's true, I really don't know. I don't know how easy it is with TerraMaster if that were to happen to fix that. I know with other companies like Synology and QNAP and things like that, those as far as I know require you to buy that same box or upgraded version of those boxes to do that again, or to rebuild that information, and I just wasn't willing to take that risk. When it comes down to TerraMaster, though, I'm not aware of anyone complaining about that being a problem. And with TerraMaster, the nice thing is that they do offer warranty. I believe it's a 2-year warranty, and they will replace basically with a new product according to their website, or at least according to Amazon.com, which is where I purchased mine. Now, the wonderful thing about them, they are not you buy the device and they'll never talk to you again. I will email support late at night, and I will get an email response by first thing in the morning. Now, I believe they are overseas, or at least the support team is, but so they don't have normal hours. They do have hours listed on the email when you email them, but they are extremely quick to respond to any and all email requests. I've never had a problem trying to reach out to support, whether to clarify a question that I had before I purchased it or after I purchased it, or even as far as yesterday. I emailed them last night at, I think it was 11 p.m. Eastern, maybe even 12 a.m. Eastern, and I got an email. I didn't even know what time it came through, but I woke up this morning and it was already there. So they're very quick to respond. I'm actually looking forward to hopefully getting another unit, whether it be one of their NAS systems or maybe just another D4-300, because again, I now bought 2 more hard drives because I ran out of hard drive space. These are a lot bigger, so hopefully I won't need to do this anytime soon again. But it's one of those things where if you're a person like a photographer or a videographer that has hard drives all over the place and you can use at least 4 drives in at one time, go for it. Now, the one thing I will tell you that you will hear from a lot of people that are in the computer industry, RAID is not a backup. What that means is because it's 4 hard drives working all in unison, or 3 or more technically. If one of those drives fail, yes, you should be able to put another hard drive in and get your information all back without any issue. However, there has been reports, especially with other big companies that have the hardware RAID side of things, that because it's so intensive of data being written back and forth and calculations being written back and forth, that when you put the new hard drive in and it tries to figure everything out and redistribute the data again, that there is a chance that another drive could fail during the rebuild process. It is rare, but it could happen. So if another hard drive were to fail in the middle of that rebuilding process, you lose everything. So the big thing is you want to make sure you always have a hard drive that backed up everything, and put that in a safe and secure place. So that even goes aside from having a hardware failure. or software failure. It could be a virus or ransomware that you kind of get yourself faced with, where someone hacks into your computer, or you download a virus by accident and it affects your information, and maybe they lock it down and say, hey, in order to unlock the pictures of your kid's birth, you need to give us $1,000, which happens unfortunately every day, probably thousands of times a day. Those types of situations, you want to make sure that you have all of your information backed up in multiple places, or God forbid if there will be a fire or some other electrical situation, that were to destroy all your information. You want to make sure it's safe and secure. So me personally, again, I have everything here in a RAID system. I have a hard drive that backs up all of my pictures of my kids every night. Automatically, if there's any new pictures that we uploaded to the computer, it'll automatically back it up to another hard drive that I have. That, again, I know it is separate. It is a separate hard drive, but it is kept there just in case. And then I also have a very large hard drive that actually got on sale this summer that may now be too small, but that once a month I hook it up to my computer. I back up all of my pictures and all my videos of my kids and everything. I take that hard drive and I put it in a safe. And that way, if there's ever a fire or electrical situation where there's a surge that comes through and somehow none of my surge protectors stop it, I have it safe and secure in a safe that I don't have to worry about me losing those pictures that are really important to me. So yes, you're not necessarily getting rid of all of your external hard drives, but I would tell you that this will at least reduce the amount that you have, because these trays are not that expensive. You can buy multiple trays. You can have multiple hard drives that you can label the front of it. It actually does come with labels, and you just can pop it in whenever you want, and you can eject it whenever you want also. They are hot swappable, which means you can keep the entire device powered on, go into your settings and hit remove drive, which you should all be doing anyway with USB drives and other things like that. You can just slide it right out. It'll turn it off. Just slide it out. Take the other hard drive, pop it in, lock it in, and you keep going. And again, it makes it so much easier than having multiple drives laying around. The potential, and this is actually what happened to mine, is I have mine sitting on the back of my desk, and if I were to move a cable or anything like that, and it fell over, I think, I want to say, I'm not sure the grand total, maybe 2 or maybe 3 times at most in the life that I've had it. But the very first time that I had it, and it knocked over just like that, okay? Now it sounds pretty loud because it's hollow and it's echoing, okay? But it's not that far of a drive, right? It just over. I lost everything the very first time because it was spinning and it dropped, okay? Now the other ones that are flat might be a little bit better, but the new thing is a lot of hard drives are like this, and they recommend it this way because the vents are also on top, and hot air rises. So that has been a pretty big issue with a lot of people dropping them, versus this is solid. It's not moving. Now the nice thing is that it comes with a screwdriver to help tighten up the screws if you want to put screws in here to make it more permanent. It does have locking tabs that you can lock in a hard drive, put it in, lock it, and it's secure. It does not fall out. It's just so super easy to do it. It's just crazy that people don't even consider ever doing it. So I definitely tell you to consider doing it. And if you have any questions, definitely feel free to drop us a question in the comments. Like and subscribe. Looking forward to doing more videos about this unit, other units in the future that I might get. Another video is still coming out there about how to cut the cord. Some quick, easy steps. Again, I think that would be maybe number 4 video, or number 3 or 4. I'll keep doing more about that. But this is a great reason to have this box, right? I can get hard drives that are old. I have a bunch of 1 terabyte drives that are really outdated, that are very slow. But I can pop them in there, and if I'm recording a show from over the air on my antenna through Plex, this is exactly what I use this drive for. And that's why it's running out of space. I'm recording all my wife's TV shows that she wants to see, and just running out of room, and want to be able to save them as much as I can. So I definitely tell you to try to give this thing a shot, or look at what TerraMaster has to offer. Again, Amazon.com is wonderful for TerraMaster. They have so many different options and all different price points. Again, you can definitely look at the NAS. They're a little more expensive, and they have different tiers also. depending on how much processing power you need, whether or not you plan on sharing your data with other people in the world, like your friends or family. Some people use these devices to share pictures and video with their loved ones, especially now with COVID. Hey, it's really hard for the grandparents to get around maybe, and be able to put all your pictures and video in this device and send a share link to your parents or to your grandparents. Say, hey, just click on this link, and you'll be able to see all the pictures of your grandkids and see what they're doing lately. It's a wonderful little tool. Definitely tell you it again. Look at TerraMaster. It's about $170 for this particular one that I have. They do have sales every once in a while. And again, please take a look at it. I had zero issues with this device, and it's very easy to set up. Again, just plug it in and go. I hope you have a great day, and God bless.